Today I'm going to share my grandma's banana bread recipe, which is the best I've ever had. So it starts with the inside cover of this really old recipe book, and my grandma may have followed this recipe at one point, but today we're changing almost everything about it. I'll start with the bananas. This recipe needs 3, but I've chosen the best candidates in my house, and they're only 2.5, but that's fine. This one on the right has been shunned and in the fridge for at least a week now, and I had to unpeel it to check if it's still good. I looked it up though, and it said if it didn't smell bad, it was good to use, so this one smelled fine, so I'm using it. Ideally, all the bananas look like this middle one, but I feel like you never plan to make banana bread, it just has to happen sometimes. So I'm first going to mash all of these in a shallow dish instead of a bowl so it's easier, and once they've all become one like this, I can set them aside. Now in a bigger bowl, I'm going to add half a stick or 1/4 cup melted butter, 1/4 cup oil. They always say to use a flavorless oil like not olive, but I use olive all the time and can never taste it. Then I'm going to add a half cup sugar. We sometimes use coconut, and now I'm just going to give it a quick whisk. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs. I usually can't crack eggs with one hand, but I managed to do it for this video. Then I can whisk those in. Next I'm adding a splash of vanilla and those mashed bananas. Next I'm going to sift in the dry ingredients. I'm going to add 1 cup of flour, 1 cup almond flour, which you won't taste, it'll just make the cake really moist, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and this is really the only thing you need to sift to get out those lumps, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and half a teaspoon baking powder. Then sift everything in, and there'll be some lumps from the almond flour, but I just dumped those in. Then just mix this all together, and I switch to a spatula towards the end. Then I can pour this into an extra long loaf pan that my grandma got from IKEA. This will mean the banana bread will be thinner, but I don't mind that because my family likes to just stand over the counter and eat a bunch of tiny slices instead of a big one. And by my family, I mean me. Then I'm going to bake this for about 35 minutes at 350. It's finished when a toothpick comes out clean and the top is browned. I think I overcooked mine a little bit, but it was still really moist. Now I like to let it come to room temperature before cutting a slice. As you can see, it's pretty short, but it's super soft and perfectly sweet. I know this is technically cake and not a bread, but I'm going to add butter to mine because it's so good. And there you have it, my grandma's banana bread recipe, which is the best I've ever tried.